True, and welcome to Shadowstar. I am the Tim Renegade Ri'shad, and this is an Intel review video. It's starting very abruptly because, unfortunately, I cannot risk recording in Star Trek Online. It'll probably crash. Yes, this is currently a thing. It's not Star Trek Online's fault. I'm pretty sure no one else is crashing within 5 to 30 minutes, so don't anyone think that there's a problem with the game at the moment. It's not. I can also add to that I have other games doing the exact same thing. It is system failure, and with this being noted, a huge thank you to the very generous donators and patrons of this channel. Tribal Typhoon and Skyhawking as patrons, Negus and Dante Demonic as donators. Thanks to you guys, I've been able to try and order the parts. There is a deposit in, the parts are ordered, they're coming, and I'm hopefully going to be properly running soon. With this all being said, let's actually go away from the negatives and take a look at a potential positive. Now, I'm going to initially talk about the visuals of this ship, but there is a time marker right now for you guys and in the description that will let you sort of find the spot you want if you want to go straight to the stats. Because I know a lot of you are interested in the stats. Hell, after listening to the Augment Dictator Gamings and the Grumpy Nord, if you don't know who they are, how could you? I definitely come to find that there are certain aspects of this ship that are absolutely amazing. But okay, let's get started on the visuals. First of all, I actually voted for this design. It was a coin toss because I couldn't decide between two. I'm not going to say what the other one was because, haha, I'm not nice. But I'm kind of glad this one won, but at the same time, this is not what I was expecting. Actually, quite far from it. However, it's not a negative. I mean, you can't really tell from this perspective, but this is actually a rather bulkish blimp-like ship, which is one thing to think about. I mean, from this angle, this specific look, the ship looks extremely slim. So it's actually credit to the designer, because they've managed to come up with a concept that looks blimpish but also slim. That's an oxymoron. There are aspects that I'm not too keen on, but I will say this. As long as when we get this ship, it's like the Vorgon carrier, and you find that the primary hull texturing is actually just a straight up neat sort of white going across, and maybe darker panelings in certain areas, more often the orange areas that you can see there, I would really like it, because that just means that, you know, when you add your own paint schemes under it, the colours are going to pop a bit more. They're not working off of another colour, such as trying to get purple to work off the green on a Klingon bird of prey. This also being said, I would hope that the colour pattern we're seeing here is going to be called, say, Risian 1. And hopefully we'll have Riser 2 as well, because that would also be awesome. Just to see a slight modification that they may have given us. And you can see now in the orthos there, what I mean by the ship is actually a bit of a blimp. However, despite this blimpish shape, it really does remain a refined elegance to it. And it's... at the moment, I'm very meh. Sort of 5 out of 10 is in my head if I was to score it right now. But I feel like once I get down to the actual visual review and taking a closer look at this ship within demo called, I'm going to end up finding myself going, okay, this ship is absolutely gorgeous. Pretty damn quickly. However, there are bits about this ship that are just standouts, and it's not the actual visuals. The first thing to note is that I'm probably going to be a bit biased because I am a support type player, so this kind of ship really does come in good for me. Admittedly, I do prefer to take a tactical support role. This means I balance basically supportive abilities alongside DPS, I'm not hard hitting, but much like this ship, you can do hard hitting and also help out your allies in some manner. This comes from its very, very brilliantly set up layout, but to be more accurate here, we have a tier 6 ship that is available for any faction. Will scale with your level, of course it's tier 6. My only concern here is its tactical orientation for hull. It's a little bit weak with a 0.95 hull. This could be a slight problem for the ship. However, it has extremely good shields at 1.45. This is going to help her shield tank like a doozy. And I have seen some people take such stats, ignoring hull modifiers, and just finding themselves just sticking it out purely because they have that shield tank ability. So, we at least know she's going to be tankish. She has 3 forward weapons, 3 aft. I would have appreciated that being 4 forward, 3 aft. But, okay, I'm not going to complain. She's clearly a science vessel. It's fair enough. She can still dish out quite a damn good amount of damage and is going to be good for broadside builds regardless. She has 6 weapons. 3 device slots as typical to a science ship. We'll get back to her consoles and bridge stations in a second. 17 turn rate, making her a very nimble ship. She is actually quite fast when it comes to turning. Kind of goes with a skittish look actually. And an impulse modifier of 0.185. Personally, would have improved a little bit higher, but can't complain. Inertia 70, plus 5 to engines, and plus 5 to auxiliary when it comes to bonus power settings. That auxiliary is going to be great for literally every single support player, and it's also quite good for shield tanking, so yeah. She comes with sensory analysis and subsystem targeting. Allows her to have the secondary deflector. This gives her extreme amount of output damage boosting if you want to. Or you can go into the other sections. It's up to you, but that I do know that secondary deflector, as a recent testing, I never really bothered testing properly with that. It turns out it can actually have a substantial effect on the amount of damage output you get. Wish I realised that quicker. I'm a lightweight. The console is the neutronic eddy generator. We'll look into that in a bit. And her starship trait is the electrified anomalies. Yes. Does anyone know I like electric? It's like my go-to here when it comes to exotic damage. Woo. So, back up. We'll talk consoles first. Now, this is where she's both strong and weak. She has 3 tactical, 3 engineering, 5 science. The reason I say strong and weak here is because I feel like it might have been better for this ship to edge your bets and put it as a 2 engineering, 5 science, 4 tactical. I know that sounds a bit odd because it really does make the ship more vulnerable, but this ship is so strong shield modifier wise that I do believe that you can give this ship very strong survivability and not need to worry too much about the engineering side of its tankiness. As a result, I know normally you would say degrade the tank score there, hull modifier wise, but the shield modifier is already doing the tank for it. It can definitely tank easily. You just gotta know how to shield tank. So that 1 extra tactical would make this ship an even better tank because it would be able to generate even more threat. With this being said, on its standard settings, it is still going to be very powerful in DPS, very powerful in support, and pretty damn good tanking. So, There's nothing I'm going to argue against there, really. It's just one way you could have made the ship. Well, then again, that might be why they didn't do that. Would have got a little bit too strong there, actually. Bridge Officer Stations is a Lieutenant Tactical, Lieutenant Engineering, Lieutenant Science. They do like lieutenants on this ship. Commander Science, well, no duh. And a Lieutenant Commander Universal Pilot. So, essentially, we're looking at a pilot science vessel. We've not had that before. I'm wondering how many people just immediately went to the comments right then. So, that Lieutenant Commander Universal Pilot, I do think makes a big difference. Although it's three lieutenant positions there, and the Commander Science, I wouldn't say you'd need to have more science to this ship. You could do if you wanted to. But having that universal position there really does up this ship's game, either tactical or engineering, depending on which side you want to go. Again, it makes it extremely deadly in support, and will give it great benefits in both tactical DPS and in the whole tank side of things. This ship is looking quite good as a science ship. I can think of a couple of science ships that do better. Multi-missions. But not bad. Personally, add a hangar or change the console modifications around a little bit, and all of a sudden this ship would be perfectly refined in my personal opinion. If you're an Admiralty fan, we'll just go on to that right now. Admiralty, you have 31 in engineering, 67 in science, and 13 tactical. That's hilarious to me because I'll have said this ship by its base stats is actually more of a tactical ship than engineering, but okay. Special is plus 10 science per science ship, so if you got a difficult science mission, probably going to be a good ship for you. The Universal Console, which looks a lot like another console in the game. Well, actually looks like a combination of two consoles in the game. The Risian Weather Control ship comes with the Neutronic Eddy Generator. This will summon Neutronic Eddies, yada yada yada. We've had Eddies before. We've also had that Hurricane before. And we've also had that Mycelium Spore before. But dealing radiation damage and draining significant amounts of shield from any enemies affected. So, this has two great bits of damage there. It does a exotic damage level, which is great. As it's a science ship, exotic damage is definitely a great thing to see. And it deals in shield drain, which means drain builds have a straight up advantage with this console. It also gives a passive boost to auxiliary, which once again is great for your starships that are running in support runs. And, well, starship drain expertise. What is there to argue against that little boost? That passive boost is really going to be helpful considering what this ship is already set up to be good at. However, now we're going to get into the potential future meta. Stands to be seen how effective this will be, but after reaching level 5 for the Risian Weather Control vessel, we will unlock the Electrified Anomalies star trait. While this trait is slotted, please be what I think, your Bridge Officer anomalies become the epicenter of an electrical storm in addition to their other effects. For those that don't know, my primary form of DPS support is control and destroy. So I use a lot of anomalies. Yes, this is my kind of trait. Because it also deals electrical damage, causing electrical blasts to shoot out, which will deal significant damage to any foes and grant a substantial power bonus to any allies hit. It takes my favourite form of exotic damage and ramps it up to 11. For those that don't know, I deal in a lot of electrical damage. A lot of my builds specialise with using electrical damage as the exotic damage output, alongside energy exotic damage and radiation. So, yeah, I quite like the look and sound of this trait, and it's going to be dangerous. You see, let's just show how it's a meta for my builds, okay? Primarily, you will find me trying to keep, as the support ship, I try to bring all the enemies into a concentrated spot, so the DPS vessels flying with me can sort of encircle and focus forward arc onto a single spot where all enemies are to hit more targets. This is in effect to make the spread, well, fire at will and cannon spread, cannon scatter volley, as well as torpedo spread, far more effective. It also boosts up the damage that you can do with AoE effects. This is how my builds work. It's designed to help the DPSs deal greater damage over time. Now, this is going to be so strong for that kind of build, because not only will we now have everyone concentrated in one spot effectively, but you will have my allies hopefully close enough to the electrical storm that when they're jolted by electricity, they're now boosting their subsystems and dealing even more damage. I'm getting hopefully boosted, which is going to allow me to do more damage, which is going to be significantly needed, to be fair. You have all our forward arcs focused on the enemy, so they're taking devastating damage from all ships encircling them. And then to make it far more deadly, the anomaly itself is also damaging them. That's a lot of DPS from the group. I don't even think you'll need to be a very high build, high spec and builds to be able to guarantee the entire team is dealing what would normally be considered elite territory of damage if done right. It could possibly even be more devastating, because what they're not actually saying here is how it's going to stack. What if I've got multiple gravitational wells active in the same area? What if I've used one of my abilities that creates a subspace eddy, or to the similar? And what is going to be the range of this electrical storm? I foresee this being very powerful. However, only time will be able to tell. So, all I'm going to ask now, guys, is what do you think of this ship? Do you think it's going to prove to be the masterpiece that it can be? Or is it going to be a letdown? Personally, no matter what happens, get the ship. Because that trait is going to be amazing. I think amazing not just for support players and not just for control type players. It's going to be amazing for everyone. The ship itself is going to be great for new science players. Though, admittedly, I would still go with certain other ships as my main science ship. Jupiter is probably one of my go-tos. Multi-mission. Nebula. Yeah, those are probably my main go-tos. So if you can afford the Zen, yeah, they're probably still a bit better. But if you're looking for a free ship and you want to get into science, get this ship. It's going to be good. So seriously, guys, what do you think of her? What are your expectations from her? Do you think her trait is going to turn out to be as great as it sounds? What do you reckon its range is going to be? I reckon it's going to be a 5-kilometer range, but we'll see. With this all being said, guys, thank you for watching to the end of this video. I know I'm a loudmouth idiot, so I do appreciate you tolerating me for this amount of time. Hopefully I haven't stuttered too much. And to anyone who has supported me via Patreon or via a single-time donation, a huge thank you, as you're really helping the channel out right now. And with all of this being said, hopefully you guys may consider hitting that like button and help the video out. Throw a subscribe if you're new to the channel. And don't forget to check out links below for Discord. Yes, Discord, I'm not going to say anything else. Discord, because there you can join in the conversation, share your own thoughts and opinions, share your own videos and crew clips if you wish. And better than that, you literally know every single time a video goes up or I stream, thanks to me having specific tabs donated to telling you when these are there. Now, I'm going to go and fantasize about how much fun this ship is going to be. Wait, what? You guys have no need to know that. Haha! Technophiliac, what? Until next time, guys. Ciao for now. I think I'm losing my mind. Live long and prosper. Oh, actually, the Klingons out there. Kapla!